Artificial intelligence updates, Friday, December the 6th. A lot of updates this week. Things are getting faster and faster and faster. And I'll start, of course, with OpenAI. They announced 12 days of releases. They call it Shipmas, or somebody calls it, it's like they're shipping every day for 12 working days. So yesterday they announced O1, the actual O1, not the preview. Remember, in September they made preview and mini, and now they come up with a full model. And I have GPT Plus. It's a paid $20 a month, and you see this is my screen. So it has O1. You see. And then if you pay $200, you will get O1 but without restrictions, meaning that you can run as many queries as you want. Somebody joined, please mute yourself. Anyway, so these are the screens. If you go to the YouTube channel, like OpenAI YouTube channel, they provide videos of all the announcements. So this was from yesterday. They were introducing O1 and demonstrating it. Today there was a session, a second day, reinforcement learning, fine-tuning to reason in custom domains, whether it's science or technology. Again, very interesting. So we have 2 days out of 12. And this, by the way, if you look at the announcement of their website on OpenAI, it provides a lot of graphs. This is one of them, and this orange one is the, what is this? It's a Pro. So this is O1 and this is O1 Pro. The difference is that in Pro, when you're paying $200 a month, they dedicate more compute to it. So it runs faster, it goes into more reasoning for the same question, and provides better results. Okay, next is Agentic RAG. Well, RAG went a long way since last year, where it was very simplistic. Traditional RAG, you take your text, you split it in pieces, you convert pieces into vectors, and then you convert your question into vector, and then you search for closest match in the data, and then you use these pieces to provide the response. So this is traditional RAG. The Agentic RAG, it's of course much better. So you take your complex queries, decompose into smaller manageable subqueries, rewrite queries to optimize retrieval accuracy, check for relevance and consistency across multiple sources, validate retrieved information, and so on. So this is, by the way, very good video with the demonstration. I highly recommend. Next is Microsoft LazyGraphRAG. So people were playing with GraphRAG. So if you have knowledge base, often it has a hierarchical structure. So a graph database helps to handle this. But it is complex, and especially when you need to update data, you need to update the graph. It may be like the maintenance may be difficult. Anyway, LazyGraph, it's a graph-enabled RAG, but it is requiring much less resources. It's kind of lazy. You see, it reduces indexing cost by over 99.9% compared to full GraphRAG, making advanced retrieval accessible. So this is work from Microsoft, and is of course is very interesting, and it is open source. So this is GitHub, Microsoft GraphRAG, and this LazyGraphRAG is included in this Microsoft GraphRAG. So it's very scalable, it's high performance, and it's lightweight in terms of indexing. Okay, this is, I made this table comparing GraphRAG and LazyGraph. So, well, I will not go through it. You can look at it later. Next, Deepmind AlphaProteo. This is actually a very big thing. So Deepmind AlphaFold, as you know, it's a model which predicts the three-dimensional structure of proteins. And AlphaProteo is the work which generates the molecules based on the site to which they need attach. So machine learning models, to create new proteins, they can bind to specific target molecules with high accuracy and strength. So it can be used to create drugs, real drugs, and it was already used like this. So this is absolutely amazing development, amazing product from DeepMind. Next. Well, this is old, but I just want to include it. Andrew Ng was talking in May 2024 about agents and agentic reasoning and what it is, reflection, tool use, planning, reasoning, multi-agent collaboration. All this we see more and more and more everywhere, and it's even being included as part of the design of the things like GPT-01. It's absolutely, definitely using reflection and planning, reasoning, and so on. This is a very good video. So by Vijay Gurbaksani, Director of Center of Digital Transformation. It's called The AI Tsunami is Here. It's a keynote why companies need to act now. And he explains that AI is not an incremental technology, but a general purpose technology like steam, electricity, internet. Explains and gives many examples how AI contributed or created huge breakthroughs in different areas. And he also explains that everyone in the organization need to be educated and become daily savvy users of AI. So in the examples of companies which were successful, this is the common pattern. So he stressed that this approach that everybody is using AI, while seemingly obvious, is crucial for fostering understanding of AI and evolving and so on. So we have tsunami, we have explosion, and at the same time, I had a conversation yesterday, and the person asked me that, well, maybe it is slowing down. I said, what is slowing down? In 2022, like 2 years ago, we had ChatGPT and nothing else, right? Then next year we got Anthropic Claude, Gemini, Mistral, Llama. A year ago, in December, Google was just introducing Gemini and so on. 2024, we have so many vendors, so many desktop, mobile applications, use cases, variety of tools, frameworks, huge data centers, specialized nuclear power plants, number of GPUs, chips used to training one model. So for GPT-3, it was 10,000 chips, and they were old A100s. Now the data centers are like 100,000 chips, or like what Elon Musk is doing, 200,000 chips, and huge models, lots of data. And I don't know, how can people say that something is slowing down when it's getting faster and faster and faster? It's like we had just one shot in 2022, then we had several in 23, but now we have like machine guns, and number of those machine guns is growing, and number of development, it's like really avalanche. Anyway, yeah, this is interesting. This is actually funny. So a developer created a competition where AI agent managed an Ethereum wallet.
Вадим, масло? Возможно,
I'm
масло.
sorry.
Я чувствую гарь, и там, возможно,
I'm
что-то
sorry.
еще.
Mute yourself.
Не так, я не уверен.
Sasha. Okay, I muted him. Okay, and okay, so AI agent was in charge of Ethereum wallet, and it was instructed not to transfer money out of the account under any circumstances. And people tried to convince AI to transfer the money to them, right? For each attempt, they needed to give money. So there was a pool of money which was growing. And after 481 failed attempts, someone successfully convinced AI to transfer the funds and received $47,000. So yeah, this is interesting. The winning message used several clever tactics, bypassing previous instructions by introducing a new session and pretending to enter admin terminal, gaslighting the AI by stating that transferring funds does not break any rules, and manipulating the AI understanding of the approve transfer function, making it believe it should be used for incoming transfers. Anyway, gaslighting. Next is Amazon. Amazon Trainium chip. Well, this was used already on Amazon Cloud for some time, but now they coming up with the second version of this chip. It has 96 gigabyte per chip, and currently Amazon has Trainium 1 instances on their cloud. It's compute instances. Next year they will have Trainium 2 instances. So these chips are already used by Amazon itself, by Anthropic, of course, Databricks, and some other vendors which use Amazon Cloud. So this is comparison of Amazon Trainium, Nvidia Blackwell, and Google TPU. So I made this comparison table. Next, Teslabot Gen 3. So it's a humanoid robot. There was a very interesting demo where somebody was throwing a tennis ball and it was capturing it. Bot can catch a tennis ball in midair. I mean, it's really something. Tesla's next generation robotic hand, featuring 22 degrees of freedom, approaching the complexity of human hand. And Elon Musk's vision of robotic hand playing musical instruments like piano and guitar, threading a needle by vision alone, and so on. Training using float 8. This is interesting because usually what people do, they train model in full precision, and as a result the model is huge, and then they quantize it down to, let's say, 8-bit or 4-bit per number, per parameter. But when you're quantizing it down, you're losing something in the model. So the question is, why not train the model from the very beginning at lower precision? And that's exactly what's happening. So this is the work from IBM and Meta. And so they used PyTorch, and now they integrated this FSDP2 into PyTorch. So, and yeah, so this is great development. Many people use local models with 4-bit precision. So next, I think, is to see models which are trained in 4-bit precision to start with. Athene V2, this is interesting. So this is what researchers have done. They took a Chinese model, Qwen 2.572b, which is a very good model, open source, and they fine-tune it and make it even better for math, coding, and reasoning tasks. Not much better, but better. Okay, AWS Automated Reasoning checks, preview. So, as you know, large language models are dream machines. It's not drawback, it's their feature, it's what they do, right? They hallucinate, but what if you need to actually the model to provide correct answer? And the solution here is they created this model, and it's a part of Amazon Bedrock guardrails. So you can give the model a set of rules, maybe some documentation, how to do certain things, what's allowed, what not allowed. Sometimes it's almost self-contradictory and difficult to decipher. And this thing actually can reason through and provide response and prevent factual errors from hallucinations. So this is great work. It's not that they changed the nature of the model, but they made a framework where it self-corrects and does the right thing. Next, infinite memory models by Microsoft. So Mustafa Suleiman, who is doing, well, he's the chief of AI at Microsoft. So he believes that that's what we will see in 2025. So context length going from thousands to millions to infinite. Predicts more AI models with near infinite memory in 2025. Google paper proposing infinite context window. keeps summary of essential points which were before, allowing AI to remember much longer context, past conversations. Solomon suggests AI reaching recursive self-improvement before 2030. And Andrei Karpathy believe achieving reliable real-world agents may require increased computational power and potentially 2 years of further development. Okay, Amazon Nova, yet another thing. Amazon originally tried to create their own model, and they call it Bedrock, but it was not as good as other models. So as a result, they used the name Bedrock to name the set of the hardware and APIs to run other vendors' models, like for example Anthropic, right? So and they were not producing their own models. Well, they did, but people usually were using Anthropic or something else. But now Amazon came up with their own models, and it's a series of models. They call it Amazon Nova. So it's a foundational models, and they go from small ones to big ones to multimodal, image generation, video generation. So you see micro, text to text, light, multimodal, pro multimodal, premier multimodal, but it's not available yet. It will be beginning of next year. But these models already exist. So interesting. So now we had OpenAI and Gemini and Anthropic, and so now Amazon is joining this competition. Very interesting. Okay, more updates. Google DeepMind Genie 2, foundational world model that can transform any image into playable interactive world. Users can control the world with keyboard action, jump, fly, and so on. So these are some snapshots from the screens. And this is from HunyuanVideo. And this is a very interesting video. Panda bear is riding a bike. 13 billion parameter model generates videos, high physical accuracy and scene consistency, and it's open source. So great. Fei-Fei Li, so she has a startup which received a lot of money. It's valued at $1 billion. And what they do, they create models to handle like three-dimensional structure of real world. And so this is the picture. So really, probably you should see the videos how it works. Yeah, this is her. Um, she used to be a Stanford professor, then she worked at Google, and now she has her own startup. ElevenLabs. Well, ElevenLabs is famous to generate voices, and now they have conversational AI, and they have a NotebookLM clone. So Google NotebookLM can take your text, your content, and produce, let's say, a podcast with two people, man and woman, talking to each other, although you don't have control over the voices. But ElevenLabs, it's ridiculous. Like you can choose the voices, you can customize the voices, you can use your own voice, you can like so many features. It's called GenFM, and yeah, it's amazing. Amazon and Anthropic cooperation continues. A year ago, Amazon pledged to give Anthropic $4 billion. It's not just money, it's also resources like compute on their platform. Now they added additional $4 billion, so it's total $8 billion. So this cooperation is becoming like deeper, I don't know. Next, Grok Chatbot application app to be released soon, beginning of maybe even December. We will see. Elon Musk attempts to block OpenAI for-profit transition. So Elon Musk is seeking preliminary injunction to halt OpenAI's practices and prevent what's called irreversible damage. Okay, Nvidia Fugato. So you see this cat in a headset. So it's AI tool can generate and transform a mix of music, voices, sounds, and so on, coming from Nvidia. AI suit. So this is on GitHub. This is basically a Python library which allows you to run different models using the same API, the same interface. So it's coming from Andrew Ng's team. I guess it's a very, very convenient thing to use. More updates. Nvidia Star Attention. Efficient LLM inference over long sequences. Star Attention to phase block sparse approximation improves computational efficiency by sharding attention across multiple hosts, minimizing communication overhead, reducing memory requirements, and inference time by up to 11 times while preserving 95-100% accuracy. Yeah, this is great. Zoom. Zoom has changed the company name from Zoom Video Communications to Zoom Communications, and they call themselves Zoom like AI first company. And they concentrate now not so much on video conferencing, but by providing collaboration, communication, AI services. So it's Zoom AI Companion, Zoom Docs, and so on. Better and cheaper embeddings, BGE M3 plus fine-tuning. So a fine-tuned open source embedding model can provide greater accuracy at lower price than proprietary models like OpenAI and so on. So yeah, this is interesting. So you take open source model, fine-tune it a little bit, and you get better results, and of course much cheaper. So maybe it's worth to actually do some fine-tuning. ScyllaDB. This is really interesting story. So this is a project which started in 2014, was outsourced into open sourced in 2015. It's a database. It's a database, distributed database, open source database, NoSQL database. It's a database which is similar to Cassandra. Cassandra was a database developed by Facebook. It is very scalable, it's very big, but it's written in Java, so it has all the drawbacks of Java, like for example, garbage collection, which means that sometimes it slows down because of garbage collection and has some other issues. So Discord, which had trillions of messages in their system, so they used 177 Cassandra database servers. And by switching to ScyllaDB, they went down to 72 servers. They removed all these latency problems and other problems. So it's really good thing that they did this transition. So most people never heard about ScyllaDB. I definitely never heard about it before, but it looks like it's a very solid product for a distributed, highly scalable and highly efficient database, NoSQL database. Why the name Scylla? Like in Greek mythology, uh, so Odyssey, so he was coming between Scylla and Charybdis. So these were sea monsters. And here we have to choose between Scylla and, let's say, Cassandra, which database to use. Well, it looks like Scylla is a clear choice. One of the tricks which was implemented during this transition, they created an architecture which they call SuperDisk. I'm talking about Discord people. And the idea of SuperDisk is that you write into local SSD and you also write to persistent disk. Writing to persistent disk is slow, but when you're reading from local disk because it's much faster. So that's how they did it, and so they achieved both persistency and high-speed read, which is important. Okay, next is update on Arena leaderboard, and we have Google Gemini on the first place for both English-only queries and for coding. So red is Gemini, so you see it's quite prominent on the top. I like Claude, and Claude is blue. So you see Claude is here. So this is for English-only queries, this is for coding. And what else to say? We don't have O1, we only have O1 preview. So it's closer to the top. O1 supposed to be better. So let's see what, like next week, probably they will show the results for O1. O1 is also faster than O1 preview, maybe like 3 times faster. So it's faster and better. It's probably will become a new champion next week. Some green is open source. We also have XAI, Elon Musk Twitter model, and we have some Chinese models. Okay, the tech layoffs, they changed their graph on this website. So here I'm using from COVID, and you see there were some layoffs, then no layoffs, then a lot of layoffs last year, 23, and now it goes down. So this is what's happening with layoffs. Okay, this is me, and thank you.